I view my role the same every time, like whether I'm starting, when I'm coming off the bench, I know what I got to bring. I feel like everybody on this team know what they got to bring every time they touch the court, and that's why we've been so successful. So we're going to continue doing that and, yeah, win more games.
Doug came in. How has that transition been? And obviously seeing Ben get some additional minutes as
Right,
well.
right.
The second unit is always changing,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Yeah, Doug's great. An amazing shooter. He brings a lot of attention to himself because he's such a great shooter, which opens up a lot of opportunities for other people. And Ben's been doing great ever since he's been getting the opportunity. He's been showing that he belongs out there, playing great defense, doing the right things offensively. Staying within the system, and yeah, everybody I just been feel like been doing their job.
You got some praise after the game from your teammates for making the right play. Is it
Yeah.
tough to get in there and not want to do too much, but all
Yeah.
to make the right play?
I mean, I'm going in there. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just going in there, making the right plays, making the extra pass to the corner, or driving or rolling to the basket, creating to allow someone else to get an open shot. I feel like I know my job out there, and every time I go out there, I'm going to do that. So.
One of TJ's passes, I felt like there was a chance it was too high. Do you remember that one?
The one that hit the backboard, right? Yeah, nah. That was a good pass. Any pass within the backboard is a good pass, and I told TJ that. So if he keeps it within that, we good. Yeah.
So that's the goal. I mean, it's not
That's
the top of the square. It's the
Nah,
top
no,
of the
nah.
backboard.
It's any part of the backboard, we good. I'm gonna catch the ball for sure.
Good vibe at practice today. How would you
Yeah.
say this team is with 25 games to go, where they're at mentally and physically?
Yeah, definitely always good vibes. We always coming in here to work, get better, and I feel like the coaches have been doing a good job coming in here preparing us for each and every game, and that's why we've been successful. So we're gonna continue doing that and win more games.
Will you be watching the standings over the last month and a half just to see where you guys are? Is that something you do?
Nah, I just play basketball. That's it. Facts.
We just got to keep working at it. I mean, we spent a lot of time today. I mean, it's not great timing that the best offensive team in the league right now is coming in. With Luka and Kyrie, they're really dynamic, and so they're really going to put a lot of stress on your defense. But this is, these are the kinds of challenges that we need, and as always, we'll kind of see where we are.
Is it any different for you playing against Dallas still, or is it past enough time that it's just another game on the schedule?
Yeah, I've been in the league 40 years. I mean, I've changed teams a bunch of times. I have great respect for them. Jason Kidd is a close friend and doing a great job there. And quite a few of their players are guys that were there with me, and I love all of them. So, it's another game, and unfortunately, it's another hard game.
When you're playing, I'm sure you're not thinking about the coaching career, but was there a point when he was playing that you and he had discussions about what he could do when he was finished?
Not really. Back then, in all honesty, I thought he was going to be an owner. I really didn't know that he had an interest in coaching. I'm really glad that he did, and that he's gotten into it, and that he's been so successful, because his mind and his experience are things that you can't, that are just very unique. And he brings elements to the game as a coach that are born of experience and championship experience too. So, along with being one of the all-time greats at his position, Jason is also a champion, and that carries a lot of weight.
I feel like we've seen the two-way guys around with you guys a little more, specifically Kendall and Oscar. Is there a specific reason for that? Just like getting the development in with them practicing, or am I just seeing things?
Did you see him here today?
Not today, no, which is funny. But I wrote the question down a couple days ago.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, they left yesterday for a trip, so those guys need to go play. If we get into a roster situation where we need bodies, they'll be back. But we try to get them as many games suited up as possible, because it's just great experience, even if they don't play. They're part of the scouting report. they're learning, they're sitting there, they don't know, and there's a chance they get in the game. So, but yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Was Aaron able to do anything today, practice-wise?
Yeah, he did a little bit.
Let's have some Leeds praise.
We're in great form right now. We started off the season slow, but it's best to get hot towards the end of the year. All I can say is it's a joy to watch, and it's been really fun supporting the team, and we're supporting the club, and watching them, just continue to play really well, and especially at home. I think we're the only team in all of the English leagues to not lose at home. So that speaks volumes about the supporters we have, and it's been fun, and want to keep it going.
You have your hands full. You have this job. You've got a busy family, a young family. How do you balance also following what's happening across the pond?
Multitasking. Maybe saying you got to use the restroom and going to watch the game a little bit. Just trying to help out as much as you can at home and be a good dad and husband, but also support the club as best you can in the little free time that you have.
In your role, are there responsibilities and interactions that you have, or are you kind of just a fan when your season's going on?
Yeah, there's not really that many responsibilities. Just kind of, keeping a presence social media-wise. Just like you guys see, updating everyone with the scores and what's going on, and I try to do my best with all that and support the club and the players and the manager we have, and just in any way I can.
Safe to say, since you joined, it's gone as well as could be expected, the entire experience?
I have had nothing to do with it, but yes, it's been incredible and really fun.
What's your energy like watching a game? Are you even able to sit?
Have you seen me play? Just imagine that, but in a living room. I'm all over the place. For people that watch the sport, 1 minute you're sitting on your couch, the next minute you're 3 inches away from the TV. You're changing spots. You might be switching kits because you feel this one's unlucky. It's a roller coaster ride of emotions, but it's incredibly fun.
How did you get connected to this opportunity in the first place last year?
I can't reveal my sources. And the opportunity was brought to my attention, and with a club like Leeds, you don't pass up something like that.
Do you feel like as a player you have a different perspective on, you talked about their slower early season form to now, since you play a different sport, do you have a different perspective on that kind of stuff?
There's similarities for sure. I feel like a little with us, we've been, there has been inconsistencies, and we've won a couple games in a row, then we lost a few games in a row. But the whole relegation and promotion thing, it adds a lot more to the sport over there. Obviously, we're fighting to go back to the Premier League, and dropping points is, especially at this time of the year, is tough to recover from. But like I said, we're in great form, and it's been awesome.
Have you been to one in person yet?
No, I'm hoping to go catch one after our season is done, but hopefully, we're playing deep into the playoffs. So.
I did ask you a question at halftime about the different combinations of the second unit that we've seen all season long. Do you take much stock into who you're out there with, or do you just play and everything kind of falls into place?
I just think there's a way that the second unit plays. Even when I wasn't playing in the beginning of the year, I don't think the second unit changed the way they played. It's just really a style of play, and everyone kind of adapts to it. Play really fast, get up and down and share the ball. And, I've said this my whole career, when you're in the second unit, if you go in and there's a lead, there should be a lead when you come back out, kind of hold down the fort in that aspect. But, if we need some energy, and that's the second unit's job, to inject energy in there and create a lead for us when the starters come back in.
So are you cognizant of that? Sometimes the score when you check in and your group's in, and then when you go to the bench, just to make sure you, at minimum, stayed even?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all talking to each other, and if the starting group starts slow, we kind of look at each other and it's like, we need some energy. Let's pick this up and pick them up, and then go from there. But when we go in and like with the starters, they had a great first quarter and kind of just either increase the lead or keep it to where it was and just hold down the fort.
One of those passes to Obi, I thought maybe it was too high, out of his reach, but he just told us anywhere in the backboard is fine.
Yeah.
You remember that play, and is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dropped it before I went to pick it up and then just threw it. But when you got a guy like Obi, kind of just throw it up and let him go get it, and that's certainly what he did.
Have you converted any of your teammates to Leeds fans this year?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. If they want to join, great, but they don't have the passion enough to support Leeds. I'm just being honest with you.
Hey, one last question about tomorrow. You played against Luka a lot, Kyrie a lot. Those two together, what kind of a challenge is that when they're on the floor at the same time?
It's a challenge that you don't face a whole lot in this league. When you got guys like Luka and Kyrie, two guys that are incredible with the ball and finding their teammates and getting to the rim, and practically no weaknesses. It's a challenge, not just for the guy that's guarding them. It's for the whole group. There's not going to be one guy that shuts them down. It's going to be a collective to try to slow them down.